Okay, the next thing we're going to play with in iMovie is titles. Okay, a lot of films require opening title sequences as well as closing credits. You'll notice that when I click on the Titles tab, I have lots of different options or styles of fonts. When I select them, of course, it displays them just like it has in the past. You'll notice that these ones are all coming in or over what we call black, right? Because it's eliminating the image that's underneath it. You'll notice down below over here, all these little buttons relate to different things that we can do with controlling our font. Changing its color, changing its style, changing its size, its speed in terms of how fast or how slow it's coming off. And then down below, of course, here is this over black button. Okay? When I turn over black off, now I've got my title showing up on top of my actual image. You'll notice that the first image that we're going to be putting titles on is the opening image. And so I've got my playhead all the way to the very beginning. I'm going to select that particular clip. It's 3 seconds long, so I know that whatever text I'm going to create, just like my transitions, I want to make sure that the text is as long as the still image, not any longer, and therefore I can read it. And it'll go away once we're done with that still image. Typically with text, you want to have it on as long as the screen is, as you would think, as long as it would take someone who was your slowest reader. If you have lots of font, lots of writing, then it's going to take somebody a while to go through that. There's nothing more frustrating than having font disappear before you've had a chance to read it. The other thing you want to be careful for is contrast. If you have white font on a sepia background, that's got a really nice high contrast to it. Whereas if I was to choose a color that was, say, like light brown, okay, you'll see it's harder to read that font. So high contrast tends to be important in font color selection, especially when when you don't want it to blend into your background. Okay. So once I've chosen a color, and I think I'll go back to white, I kind of like that, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a style. You can choose any style you like. Just remember that you do want to keep it within that 3-second realm. So here this duration is up to 129. I could have it pause a little bit longer. If you are including any kind of animation, it's good to have the title stop on the screen for a little while before it disappears, because if it's constantly moving, it's really hard for your audience to actually read what it is that you have on the text or on that particular title. So once I have something I like, you can notice the speed and pause. I can slow it down and have that beat come in at a lower duration. Both speed plus pause equals my overall duration. That's why these two windows are lined up the way they are. So again, if I have something below 3 seconds, then I should be okay here, as long as it's below 3 seconds. Now to get that title actually onto that clip, I can literally grab bounce to center, which is the style I've been playing with, and just like the transitions, I'm going to grab it and stick it down onto the clip with the big plus sign. I let go, and sure enough, it's added that particular text onto that layer. If I ever wanted to delete it, I could just click that layer of text, and like I did before with my effect, just hit delete and it will delete that text title. I hit undo and I bring it back. And now when I play the beginning of my movie, you can see that the title go ahead and bounces on, and then we continue on with the film. There is about 7 frames left over from the first title, because my title was only 2:23. That's fine, we don't need to delete that. The only other thing I would do at the very start of this is add a transition at the very start. So instead of starting from the dog with the title, we actually fade in from black, which is kind of the convention that everybody buys into when you're starting all your films. So I'll just click quickly on transitions, choose fade in, make sure the duration is short enough so it'll fit on that first clip. Maybe I'll make it just a 22 frame fade in, and I'll grab that and drag that to the very front as well. So now you can see that if I deselect and I play my movie, it fades in from black, the title bounces on, the title cuts, and then we go into the live action of the dog. So please make sure that your opening title sequence matches that with your fade in, title that bounces on for the 3 seconds, and then continues on into the dog.